Hi, I'm Unmukt Chand, and I'm a cricketer by passion as well as profession. So, according to me, someone who has a long-standing goal, vision, and he probably puts every ounce of his energy into achieving that goal, be it in any field, is a change maker. I think it's the most important thing which I realized is by forming the habits. If you have the right habits that help you in achieving that goal, which help you in uh, having that mindset, which is very growth oriented, which is sustainable, is something which eventually helps you reach that goal. And I'll go back to my story. I started off playing cricket at the age of 4 years old. I was very passionate about this game. I think I was lucky enough that cricket chose me in a way, because at such a age you hardly know about things. And I had a lot of passion with this game. I was very lucky that in my house, I mean, everyone, we had a joint family that time. So my uncle, my father, they were equally very passionate. So they used to, I used to wake them up early in the morning, and we used to go to a park nearby, and they used to bowl at me. And I used to hit balls here and there. And that was the amount of passion was there. Be it winters, summers, didn't make any difference. And by the time, so I started playing in my colonies, and started breaking windows here and there. So that's when they actually made me join an academy at the age of 8 7. I was 7 or 8 that time. And that's where proper formal cricket coaching was introduced to me. And that's where my cricketing journey sort of started. But I somehow feel lucky in a way that I always knew that I want to be a cricketer. And so was the atmosphere at home as well. And one of the best things I feel, and I give a lot of credit to my parents in this regard, because as a child, they are, I mean, be it your parents or your guardians, they are the lens through which you see the world. And they always sort of created that environment which helped me do things which helped me in my sport, as well in my academics. And because they were teachers, there was a lot of the environment at home was very growth centric. Learning environment was there. They taught me all the good things which were important for me to be taking in life. Like, I remember my father introduced me to diary writing very early on in my life, which became sort of a habit, which eventually helped me write a book as well in the future. And it's one of my best friends, because my catharsis, my all those things. I mean, I put everything in the diary, and that's when I feel sort of a lot of load gets off me, especially when I'm not doing well. And when I'm doing well, obviously it's good to write those things in a diary, because you want to go back to it sometimes when things are not going your way. And you learn so much by just going through the pages, through just visualizing the feel what was there in the past. And so those things are always there. And I put a lot of emphasis on time management, which I learned very early on in my life, because uh, my routine used to be like this. I used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. My father put me into swimming in school, knowing the fact that swimming is going to help me build stamina and strength, which is eventually going to lead me help me in my cricket. So the mindset was already working, that we wanted to do something good in cricket. So let's do everything we had in our capacity to make sure that I become a better sportsman, a healthy individual. So my diets were regulated since the very beginning. I used to do swimming for 1.5 hours. I ended up even doing nationals and representing zonals as well. But that just happened. So those 1 hour in the that 1 hour in the morning was a proper advanced swimming class in school, and then I used to attend my classes in school. Uh, After that, I used to go back home, go for practice for 3 hours. Uh, I used to do that like every 4 5 days a week, and then they used to come back home. But the good thing was, every day they used to make sure that I was studying for 1 hour after coming back home from practice. I mean, it was too tough on a young child like me. And sometimes when I look back, I sometimes feel fascinated by, surprised rather, that how could I do it at that time, when the other kids were doing all the fun. They had no idea what was going on. But I think I give a huge credit to my parents and my uncle for sort of putting me into a routine, into giving me that habit, which eventually helped me do better things in life. And these things actually helped me when I was playing the World Cup, or when I was leading different teams, or when I was part of the IPL teams, India A teams. And when you do well, when you don't do well, you at the end of the day you realize the importance of the work which you put in. And that's the importance of we especially in sports, we call this preparation precedes performance. And we put a lot of focus on processes. So those seeds were planted very soon. And I still remember we used to have a weekly tests on Monday, and only Monday I didn't study after coming back from practice. Otherwise, from Tuesday onwards, the studies used to start, so that I don't have that load at the end of the week. And this is something which eventually helped me later on as well. And now also, I'm so focused on my practices. I make sure that I'm not just practicing before the matches. It's become a sort of a routine. And we hold a lot of reverence towards routines. And that thing which we hold on to very dear is the processes, that how did I do things which I'm supposed to do. And in my own journey, I think I was very lucky that I started getting a lot of results early on in my life, because hard work was something which I always, I mean, I, I was too fond of doing hard work. And there are three things which I follow to the T. To the T. The first one is having set priorities in life. So again, it's very difficult to again think of a small child doing those things again and again. That's why I give a lot of credit to my parents, because they are the ones who actually helped me in doing those things. But again, priorities were set. Even now I tell everyone else, if there's a goal in front of you, you want to be doing the things which are the most important things, not the things which are like secondary or the tertiary things which are not so important. So always choose to do things which are most important at that time, at that moment, with a long term perspective in place. Second is, I mean, whatever you do, put everything into it. I mean, there is half-hearted effort is deemed to fail. So put everything into it. And third is hard work. There's no substitute to hard work. And especially when you love something you do, I mean, it doesn't feel tiring. It's if you're passionate about it, you love to uh, keep doing the hard work again and again. And always looking for opportunities for growth, for betterment. And once you start doing these things, it becomes a part of life. And every day you want to be doing some. I wake up every day thinking of how can I become a better person, a better cricketer, or whatever my thing is at that moment of time. So these are things which have really sort of helped me in my life. And a couple of more examples I would like to give is I also remember that, because obviously my parents are teachers. So they made sure that I was always getting good grades. I was studying in class, I was studying at home. We did it they I used to read a lot of books as well, which is now also a habit which also helped me write a book later on. But I remember when I was in 11th, um, I was playing Ranji Trophy that time. And uh, under 19 tournaments were going on. So I was busy almost half of the year touring here and there. And rest of the time, even when I was in Delhi, I was practicing mornings and evenings. And so, we decided to take maths and economics together. And it was like a very sort of a weird decision, because again, with so much of studying sports load, getting a studying load as well like this was something which was very unheard of. And but the reason we took that decision was that time was, if I could pull it off, if I could make myself work hard for those 2 years, make sure that I am able to pull the maths and the economics with my cricket, with my sports, I can probably do anything in life. I mean, then nothing will bother me probably later on in life. So the base was set. And also I had this weird thing that if maths is something, if I do, it's going to open up my different sort of areas of the brain which are going to help me on the field in decision making and angles and all those things. So I was thinking on those angles as well. So the whatever I did, I have always sort of related it to cricket, how it can help me in my cricket in long term growth. long-term perspective, and I am someone who would never do things on a short-term benefit sort of a thing. So it's always something which is more holistic, which is more sustainable, and which is which is the right thing, and that's what I've always sort of tried to do. Also, very lucky again to taste success very early on in my life. So I mean, I played under 16, under 15 for Delhi. So before that, I didn't get selected for the Delhi team when I scored the maximum runs in the trial matches before that. And though my parents were, when the news came out that I was not picked in the squad, my parents were really upset that, how would a 15-year-old guy who comes out of a bag after practice after a hard day will take the news. But, because I used to read a lot of books, and I had heard somewhere, and I'd seen read somewhere that, for success to happen, you might have to, these are obstacles, and you might not get selected even after, and because of various things, you won't get selected, and then you still got to work hard. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll work even harder, I'll score more runs. And that was the mindset. It was never like, I never got sort of demotivated. I always wanted if things didn't come to me, I wanted to work even harder. So that and that has still been with me, sort of carried on with me. And then, I worked very hard that year. Next year I got onto the under 16 team, scored runs for Delhi, and then got picked for under 19 the next year. Again, scored runs, got picked for the India under 19 squad. And then, the journey unfolded, and we kept winning so many trophies, so many tournaments after tournament. And then the World Cup happened. It was again, I mean, from the glory point of view, obviously it was huge. But again, the preparations towards it was superb. I mean, we had become a family, all of us, and the amount of training which was going on behind it was very good. So I mean, the environment around us was so positive. And that, even when I was writing my book during that World Cup, I had done 80% of the work before the World Cup got over, because I was that confident that we're going to win the World Cup. That was the amount of sort of amount of one-minded thinking was there. And I owe it a lot to my team, to all the people who were there to support us. But the mindset was that, we're going to win the World Cup, and there was no ifs, no doubts about it, and there was no what if we don't win it. So that was the clarity we had. And eventually it happened. So we talk a lot about visualizations and all those things, but it actually happened. It actually happened, whatever I thought of. And it gave a lot of success. And then I was lucky enough to be part of India squads and IPL teams, and great successes came to me. And then a lot of downfall came in the last 4 years. I mean, things went totally downhill in so many ways. And then sports again shows you so many facets of life. I mean, you get great success, tremendous success, and then things don't go your way. You feel that nothing is happening in your life. But then you again, I mean, if the foundation is good, then you know that you have to keep working hard, keep making sure that you are sort of removing the chinks in your armory. You are getting better. That thing also has to be there. You always have to think big. I always sort of nothing has sort of demotivated me. Yes, at times I do feel down. I've always felt down. I felt down, but I mean, it's only a few hours, and then again, I know that next day I again have to come back. Every day
Join the meeting.
is a day where I can look for opportunities for growth, where I can do something. And things have unfolded in a great way. I mean, I could never expect certain things happening in my life the way they did. And I think it only did because when you're working so passionately for something. I mean, the universe creates so many forces. The forces come in such a way that some great things happen for you. And you know so a lot of gratitude is there for those things happening in my life. And suddenly, this out of when nothing was happening, this US thing came in. And now I'm in the US. And some great opportunities, some doors are opening up. And really feel excited, and looking forward to those things. And so I've always sort of made sure that when I was in school, we used to learn about the three Ds we talk about. It's discipline, dedication, and determination. So these things have really stuck with me, and sort of they motivate me quite a lot. So this is a part of the journey I've been living, and every day it's about how good I can be in whatever I'm doing, and how can I contribute. It's always about what can I give to others rather than what can they give me. And when you go with that mindset, then you're bound to do the right things, you're bound to take the right steps, and that's how it goes. And there's a famous there's a story which I would like to share, which probably would want to end my talk as well with this, the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. When you plant the seed of that bamboo tree, with all the it needs water, it needs sunlight, it needs fertile soil. When you plant that seed, you don't see any growth in the first year, you don't see any growth in the second year, even the third and the fourth year you don't see any growth above the soil. But in the fifth year, this tree grows for like 60, 70 feet in like 6, 7 weeks. And so what was it doing in those 4 years? It was spreading its roots. And when and though people could not see the growth, but it was actually spreading its roots. And one fine day, when the foundation was set, it grew up. It shot up like anything. In 6 weeks, it got so much of success. It grew so tall that there's a huge learning which we can get out of this. And that's what I always tell myself as well, and people around me as well, that always focus on your growth, on your betterment. And don't worry about results too much. They're gonna happen sometime or the sometime. Some get early, some get it late, but always focus on the processes. And once you do that, I think sky is the limit. And that's how I want to end my talk today. And I really want to wish everyone the best of luck. And hopefully we can have many more change makers from this room. Thank you.